Reynolds and Blake Lively. A love story too perfect to be real? Top facts: they look too good to be true from the start. Golden skin, knowing glances, a kind of flirtation that didn't just live on red carpets but smoldered between subway stations and behind closed doors of Manhattan townhouses. Reynolds and Blake Lively, two stars with megawatt charm, met like a scene scripted straight from a studio lot. But the love story that looked like it came from a fairy tale? It had shadows, whispers, secrets, and an undercurrent of desire that ran deeper than their polished smiles ever let on. This is Top Facts, and you're about to dive into the most controversial, most whispered about, and most intimate corners of Hollywood's most envied relationship. Because behind every curated Instagram photo and clever caption, there's a real story. A story Hollywood never wanted you to hear. Let's begin with the night it all started to change. First, Ryan and Blake weren't even meant to be a couple. She was the elegant blonde ruling the Gossip Girl universe. He was the Canadian heartthrob rebounding from a famously cold marriage with Scarlett Johansson. They met on the set of Green Lantern, a film that may have bombed at the box office but exploded with chemistry behind the scenes. But here's the twist: they were both dating other people at the time that it was double date night. Ryan brought his date, Blake brought hers, but they couldn't stop looking at each other. "We were like fireworks," Ryan once teased in an interview, careful with his words. But friends close to the couple said it was more like a silent fuse that had been waiting for just the right spark. That night, as the others laughed and sipped their drinks, Blake and Ryan played a different game. One with long stares, knee brushes, and electric silences. Hollywood watched, waiting. When they both went quiet on their relationship soon after that dinner, the whispers began. Had Ryan left Scarlett for Blake? Was Blake already drifting from her co-star turned boyfriend, Penn Badgley? The gossip blogs hinted. Paparazzi tried to chase them. But the couple kept it cool. Denials. Distractions. Smoke and mirrors. Until Boston. Ryan was filming a movie in the city when Blake was spotted visiting him. Not once. Not twice. But nearly every weekend. Locals claimed they saw them walking late at night, huddled close beneath scarves and hats. And when they stayed at a quaint little inn known for its cozy fireplaces and no questions asked service, the buzz got louder. According to someone on staff, they stayed in a corner suite. There were requests for champagne, for late-night meals, for the music to be turned just low enough that no one else could hear, but loud enough for the walls to dance. Their romance was brewing, and yet no one could quite pin it down. And then came the wedding. Out of nowhere, Ryan and Blake got married in secret in South Carolina, at a plantation no less, a choice that stirred up backlash for its historical insensitivity. But it wasn't just the location. It was the timing, the speed, the secrecy. Why were they rushing into marriage after barely a year of public dating? Was it love? Or something else? Some insiders say it was a decision born of heat, that the pair had become inseparable behind the scenes, so tangled in each other's energy that they couldn't wait another second. According to a close friend who remained anonymous, it was like they had this private universe. You walked into a room with them, and you felt like you were interrupting something. You just knew. Of course, not everything has been picture perfect. Blake's style and elegance have often clashed with Ryan's wild humor. Behind the glamorous couple's portraits and red carpet smiles, sources say there were late-night arguments over privacy, jealousy, and control. Ryan, a known perfectionist, reportedly hated when photographers got too close to their kids. Blake, ever the fashion darling, sometimes used public attention to her advantage. That tug-of-war played out in small but telling ways. Comments mysteriously deleted from social media, photos suddenly pulled from posts, PR reps backtracking on things said during interviews. But perhaps the most eyebrow-raising moment came when an email was leaked from a stylist who had worked with both of them. The email described how Blake would ask for specific colors and fabrics, things she said Ryan liked best on her. Soft fabrics, earth tones, things that felt like skin but looked like silk. The email read. It wasn't the words, it was the suggestion, that Blake was dressing for him, playing to some unspoken desire. Yet Ryan wasn't exactly innocent in the art of suggestion either. During one of his press tours, a co-star joked that he always smelled like vanilla, leather, and something very, very personal. The joke got laughs, but the rumor mill lit up. What scent was Ryan carrying that seemed to say more than cologne ever could? And then there were the texts. One particularly scandalous report from an ex-assistant claimed that Ryan once accidentally left his phone unlocked during a shoot. The messages, this person swore, were enough to make a nun blush. Sweet, suggestive, and deeply private. Messages that hinted at nights alone with Blake. Inside jokes. And nicknames that sounded more like whispers than words. Still, all the controversy, all the speculation, only added fuel to their legend. People couldn't get enough of them. But fame is a tricky lover. It doesn't share well. And for a while, even fans noticed a shift. Ryan was quiet. Blake too. Interviews became more clipped. They avoided couple questions. Was something off? The tension peaked when Ryan was seen leaving a New York club alone, looking tense and avoiding questions. Just hours later, Blake posted a cryptic quote to her Instagram story. Sometimes you need space to remember why you need someone. The internet broke. Were they breaking up? Taking a break? Or playing the kind of mind games only the most magnetic couples can afford? The truth, according to a stylist who had worked on a campaign with them shortly after, was more intense than anyone thought. They were in a rough patch, the source said. But it wasn't about love. It was about balance. About figuring out how to be this fantasy couple and still keep something sacred just for them. And sacred, it turns out, is exactly what they found. Over the years, the pair have become experts in flirtation through code. From birthday posts that tease more than they reveal, to red carpet touches that linger just a second too long. Every photo seems choreographed for tension. Every glance a puzzle piece. Every silence. Loud. One fan theory that's gained massive traction is that Ryan and Blake have secret rendezvous rituals. Days when they vanish from their public lives to escape to a place only they know. There are breadcrumbs if you look closely. Matching photo filters. Shared songs. One year they both went offline for the exact same 72 hours, only to return with glowing skin and cryptic captions. So what's the real story? Is it true love? A magnetic bond? Or just the most well-executed illusion in Hollywood history? The answer lies somewhere in between. What Blake and Ryan have crafted isn't just a relationship. It's a performance, a brand, a delicate dance of desire and discretion. But that doesn't mean it isn't real. If anything, it might be more real than most. Because the best relationships aren't perfect, they're secret, sexy, a little messy, and totally addictive. And just when you think you figured them out, they change the script. Because the truth is, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are never really playing for the cameras. They're playing for each other. And that, maybe, is the most seductive fact of all. This has been Top Facts. And now that you know the secrets behind the smiles, the glances, and the perfectly curated posts, are you sure you want the fairy tale? Or would you rather have the fire? Stick around. Because in Hollywood, the most forbidden stories are the ones whispered behind velvet ropes. And we're just getting started.